Good morning, it's April 1st. April Fools. But no, I actually am walking around the lake. It's not an April Fool's joke. It's just around freezing and windy, sounds like, and cloudy, so not a particularly pretty day. Nevertheless, it's Friday and that means around the lake, so here we go. You can see how much the snow is shrinking away, but it's not gone yet. I'm hoping the ice situation is not too horrific this morning. Well, it's still pretty bad on our sidewalk here. Bet you well, we'll see, but my guess would be that the tunnel under the bridge is still flooded, because it was like 4 feet deep last week when I was there. Not year. Here's ice. So I don't know what it's going to be like around the lake. Hopefully better than last week, but on the Kickstarter front, it continues to inch up now that it's funded. It's not moving up as quickly as I would like it to continue to advance, but it is advancing. Still 6 days to go, so plenty of time to get over there. There's lots of great backers rewards left, audiobooks, signed books, artwork, photographs, poems from Jane Yolen, short story critiques, writing mentorship, all that over at tinyurl.com/shapersofworlds3, numeral 3. Act now. Supplies are limited. Operators are standing by. Sort of. I try to send an email to everybody that backs as soon as I get notification of it. Depending on what else I'm doing, of course. Oh! That did not look like ice at all. I'm going to go over here. And it almost got me. That would have been a bad one because my foot slipped forward. I could have fallen backwards and landed on my rear end, which would not be pleasant. But I didn't. I'll be so glad when it is all gone completely. Because I like walking in the mornings, but that's when it's at its most hazardous, ice-wise. That sidewalk's usually bad, so as long as nobody's coming, I'm going to walk on the street here. Nice thing about the boulevard, you can see. It's one way this side, one way that side, so if anybody's coming, they'll have to come around the corner in front of me. See, I think I walked clockwise last time, so I will walk counterclockwise this time. Editing wise, I got so much to do. Shadowpaw Press has now taken on, Shadowpaw Press Reprise has now taken on 5 more books. The first of those will be a fantasy novel called Legend of Sarah by Leslie Gadala. That was originally published by Del Rey Books quite some time ago. More recently republished by Five Rivers. Five Rivers is gone. And so Shadowpaw Press Reprise will give it new life. The other one is a poetry collection called Phases. A little outside my usual wheelhouse, as they say, but it was shortlisted for 2 Saskatchewan Book Awards when it came out. And then Coteau went away just kind of as the author, Coteau Books, kind of as the author was ready to start her, touring and reading and promoting and stuff. So on her dime, Shadowpaw Press Reprise does not have money to support touring, but she had some plans that fell through because Coteau Books went away. So by bringing this out, I hope to facilitate that, and hopefully it will find an audience. Hopefully I'll make some money. That is ultimately the idea behind this It's not just out of the goodness of my heart, although I'm glad to help authors keep their books alive in some fashion. If I keep them alive and go bankrupt, that would be less than satisfying. Okay, let's see what it looks like down here. Oh, maybe it's open? I'll just take a look. Nah. It's probably all right. If I'm very careful down here, where there seems to have been more. It was completely flooded, and now it's got all this ice on the bottom from that. But looks like I can get through it. Not sure I enjoyed that so much, and I might take the crosswalk when I come back. Oh, I hadn't thought about this. So you get here, and it's still flooded. I don't have much choice. I have to go back. I can't go through that. I don't think I can get through there. All right, well, I'll go the other way. Go back and take the crosswalk after all. That probably floated down here, wouldn't surprise me. Or somebody threw it down here, you can never be sure. Okay, well, maybe next week I'll be able to go through there. I hadn't thought about how it always floods at the other end. This might change the way I go around the lake, depends on how this sidewalks look up here. No opportunity to jaywalk, unfortunately. Too many cars coming from that direction. About the time they stop coming from that direction, they'll start coming from the other direction. Or the light will go off. What actually happened. Speaker's corner there, still piled with snow. This is better. This was all flooded last week. I think I will actually go clockwise, just because of the way this is going to bring me down onto the path. A lot of snow gone, still some remains. Still some ice remaining, I can already tell on the path. Oh. It's a... Hello, Elmar. Oh, you're coming back to Regina from Nanaimo. Well, I should still be walking if I don't fall down on the ice here one of these days. Mostly this seems to be water this morning. And the lake is still frozen, as you can see, although I wouldn't want to walk on it. Easier to avoid the patches as more snow melts up here. You can walk on the grass. That looks pretty icy. Lots of geese around. not sure this is any better than down there because there's enough water frozen up here to make ice too. This is kind of a mixture of ice and water at the moment, which is a bad combination. Avoid that. Who's there? Mariana? You're welcome. I don't know when this will open up. The creek is liquid, but the lake, not yet. There's Willow Island directly in front of us. Geese are still standing around on the water, on the ice, wondering the same thing. When is this going to turn to liquid? Morning. Here, a woodpecker somewhere. Still not going to take that path. It's got a ways to go yet. Though April showers may come your way, they bring the flowers that bloom in May. So if it's raining, have no regrets, because it isn't raining rain, you know, it's raining violets. Not raining at the moment, but oh, I forgot about this patch. Does not fill me with confidence because it slopes down and has ice on it, so we'll go over here. A little bit into the muck. It's a little bit better, not a lot. It still slopes down and still has ice on it. Made it. Maybe next week it'll be dry. I mean, look how much snow is gone. But what's left continues to melt and run across the path. That view will disappear once there's more leaves on the trees. Conk, conk, conk. Conk, 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 conk. This time of the year, that honking mostly boils down to, hey babe, want to make some eggs? Well, this isn't much better. I'll go up here, I think. Looks a bit better. To avoid that, crows cawing over there. It is better than last week. The patches of ice are smaller. They just aren't completely gone. Glad I wore my boots and not just my runners. Starting point for my Shards of Excalibur YA fantasy series right here. Lady of the Lake shows up in that patch of water. Tells Ariane and other kid, Wally, that the two of them have to find the Shards of Excalibur, which is the name of the series, before Merlin can. He's the bad guy. And his modern day guys as Rex Major, who's kind of a Bill Gates, Steve Jobs kind of computer magnet kind of guy, who has his magic through the internet, which is very useful because it meant I could cut them off from the internet or make it more difficult for them to use it. And cell phones are out of the question, and that makes YA adventure much easier if you can get rid of the cell phones. Or you have to build them into your plot, of course, which can also be done and has been done. Well, I looked at this last week. It was prettier last week because the sky was a bit more open. Looks like more snow gone off the surface, but still ice. There you go, ice. So this is the east side of the lake. We're now walking along. Wascana Drive over there. I've walked over among those apartments more than once. I always run into snowshoe hares over there. Another pair of geese on the lake. Hunka. A hunka burning goose. There is open water up here. There was last week. I assume it's still there. some sort of outflow that clearly makes this one spot open up or stay open. Because even when it was 30 below at the beginning of the winter, this little patch of open water remained. It eventually froze over, but it's came back pretty quick. See more people walking around the lake now that it's spring. Didn't see that many when the wind chill was well over 40 below and I was walking in the dark before the sun came out. Pretty much had it to myself that day. The wind is fairly sharp blowing across the lake though. You'd think it was warm in the winter, but now it starts to feel the other way again. Haven't been tempted to take my hat off yet this morning. We'll go down the path right next to the lake down here, I think. See what it's like now. Morning. Morning. I'll be glad when it's completely dry again. Yeah, and I just about killed myself that day. Just avoid that one. Might just be water, but I'm not convinced. So over here, there's quite a bit of open water. It's always right there, so there's got to be some kind of outflow from somewhere that's a little bit warmer. Over here, there'll be a fountain later on, an aeration fountain to put oxygen in the water for the fishies. Oop. They objected to me crossing the bridge. Nasty patch and no good way around it. So I'll have to cross this one carefully. Actually looks like it might be a bit better on this side. Definitely ice though. Not a good way around this one either. This is opened up though. The gravel bit here is completely thawed off, it looks like. Maybe not dry exactly, but thawed. Not too muddy. This is where the canoeists hang out. There's a racing club and just a canoeing club, rowing club. And up there is Bar Willow Eatery. It's a nice deck overlooking the lake. They launch boats from over there in warmer days. avoid that puddle. Playground, almost getting playable again. Canada Games Wascana Lake Centre is the formal name. It's kind of spruced up when they held the Canada Games here in 2005, I think, right after they deepened the lake. So that it was silting up and they dredged it out. Completely emptied it out, which was something to see. Deepened it, let the water back in. And now hopefully it won't be completely choked with weeds for another 100 years, which is the way it was trending. Turning into a marsh. Another pair of geese. A little calmer than the ones from under the bridge. A patch of ice to be careful on. Good morning, Roger. Come launch your boat, but you won't get far. Could sit on the ice until it melts, I guess, then it'd be launched. When the wind's not blowing on me, I think about taking my hat off, but I know when I get over here where the wind has unfettered access across the lake, I will want it again. Pine Island over there. I'll be interviewed for a podcast later today. Josh Pantelesco, is that right? I've been on it before, but not for a while. And I think it's going live pretty quick, so it'll still plug the Kickstarter. I was on one yesterday that was fun, but it's hosted by a 17-year-old girl, and she talked a mile a minute and didn't really pay that much attention to the answer she was getting, was my feeling. She just wanted to get through the questions she had. But it was fun. And I'm sure she has a younger audience than I normally talk to. Broad Street Bridge. Wind's blowing from basically the legislative building from this angle. Usually it's hot air that comes out of that building, but cold air coming across the lake from that direction today. Another patch of ice, but again, not nearly as bad as it was the last couple of weeks, so things are improving. Look at all the dog prints in the mud there. Here's a beach, not a swimming beach, even in summer, definitely not now. It's a bird beach, usually has birds on it. There's the wind, yeah, straight from the legislative building, northwest obviously, or just pure north. It's hard to be sure what the directions are here because everything twists and turns. by Charles. In Alabama, sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. It's the one song about Alabama everybody knows. Whereas nobody knows any songs about Saskatchewan. They do exist, but it's not an easy word to use in a song. There's one, when was that now? Several years ago now. I had a show that I wrote that Regina Lake Musical Theatre did called As Time Goes By, a love story with music and ghosts. And it was all built around songs that were in our house, basically in the piano bench from when Margaret Ann's grandmother lived there, because she was a singer, and she and Helen Jolly, who was head nurse at the Regina General Hospital, just go down to Hatton's Music and get the latest sheet music and bring it home. So we have all this basically sheet music, and maybe been opened once. And I picked some of those and built a story around this young guy who'd inherited his great aunt's house in Regina and had to come and go through stuff, and he's also a nightclub entertainer, and he was looking to build a new act, and he got the brainstorm to build an act built around the songs he found in his great aunt's piano bench. His great aunt, as it turns out, is still there. It's a love story with music and ghosts, because it's also a ghost story. It was a lot of fun. I had a good cast. It's on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube. My other one's on YouTube for sure. The Music Shop, SHOPPE. You can watch the entirety on YouTube. Maybe the other one isn't. They're demonetized because they contain songs that, you know, have copyright owners. But there. Anyway, one of those songs. It's called Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. It's all about, I never like the looks of things down there, so we'll go up here again. It was clearly written by somebody who had never been to Saskatoon, because it was all about downhill skiing in Saskatoon. And while you could kind of ski down the riverbank, I suppose, it's really not what Saskatoon is known for. They managed to rhyme Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I don't remember what they rhymed it with. That may be the only popular song, like published by a music publisher. Oh no, there must be others, but I still remember bits of the Homecoming 73. Is it 73? Oh, that would make sense. 70? Maybe it was 70. The 65th anniversary of the province. How did it go? I have heard the whisper of your wheat fields blowing softly in the wind, and the warm hearts of your people make me want to come back home to you again. Again and wind don't rhyme, but oh well. Get set to welcome home your native son, Saskatchewan. Again, Saskatchewan and son don't rhyme, because nobody says Saskatchewan, son, Saskatchewan. But I gave it the old college try. When we moved up here, it was Centennial of Canada, 1967, when I was 8 years old. And I still remember, Canada, we love thee. Canada, proud and free. 3 cheers, something for Canada. Hip, 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 hooray. Celebrate. That's the order of the day. Frere Jacques, merrily we roll along together, all the way to Canada. There's another line in there now. We are 20 million. Well, we're almost double that now. The things you hear as kids stick with you. I have a clear memory of singing in Texas in school, in a music class, when I had to have been no older than 7. I'd have only been 6. The Happy Wanderer. I love to go wandering along a mountain trail, track, that's it, along a mountain track. And as I go, I love to sing my knapsack on my back. Valerie, Valera, Valerie, Valera, Valerie, Valera, my knapsack on my back. Aside from hymns, which we sang in church 3 times a week, that's the first song I really remember learning, if you don't count the alphabet song. I remember struggling with the alphabet song when I was about 5. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that one. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. It helps to be American because it rhymes. If you're Canadian, it doesn't rhyme. It ends with a clunk. W, X, Y, Z. Say what? Z. That doesn't rhyme. Z. Oh yeah, well there, of course, I forgot about Buffy St. Marie, one of our most famous exports, along with Joni Mitchell. Don't know that Joni Mitchell's ever used Saskatchewan in a song. But did Buffy St. Marie rhyme Saskatchewan? That's the question. You have the Google, look it up. I'm too busy not falling down on the ice and singing. Stars Fell in Alabama. Yeah, okay, all right, but that's not as famous as the other one, I don't think. Sorry, some of those have scrolled up. I may have missed something. And with my gloves on, I can't scroll back through the because I don't have gloves with the little magic tip that allows you to use touchscreens. No, I don't think I missed anything. That's probably the end of the concert this morning. Oh, right, this was a bad patch, and it's still a bad patch. It's a low point, so all the water is running across the creek to get to the lake. Right here. And it's no better up there, so I'm just going to have to very carefully make my way across this. Very slowly. It's all about center of gravity. Not letting your center of gravity go anywhere except over your feet. Ooh, that's slick. And it slopes, so it's a nasty bit. Wouldn't want to hit it unexpectedly in the dark. Whew, made it. Spruce Island. And undeveloped that one, just a bird sanctuary. Wildlife sanctuary. Mostly birds, I would think. Well, actually, I know another one. It was in another show I did. I didn't write the show, but I directed it, called Regina Revisited by Jean Freeman. And she found this song, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan, there's no place like Saskatchewan. But they don't rhyme Saskatchewan. We sit and gaze across the plain and wonder why it never rains. Till Gabriel comes with trumpet sound and says, the rain, she's gone around. That was it. Some Depression era, Dust Bowl era ditty. Do an evening walk soon? Yeah, that would be fun. It just depends on how my day and other things are going. I like doing evening walks. Oh, this is bad. I can probably go a bit upstream, uphill of it. Over here, it's more mucky than icy. It's still icy enough. It's not as mucky as it could be, so it's kind of a happy medium. There we go. Ooh, there's still a patch there. Made it. More stuff on this than there was at the height of the pandemic. Everything's going again. Well, I do want to switch some symphony tickets that we've got for a concert. We're going to switch tickets to later concerts, so Alice can go with us to a couple of concerts when she gets back from university in a month. Smart shoes, that would be good, especially around here this time of year. They could sense the condition of the road, because you don't want cleats on bare pavement, but every time you hit the ice you wouldn't mind them. Morning. There's the Holodemour Memorial, getting a lot of attention right now because of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. That, of course, memorializes the last, well, maybe not the last time, but an earlier time when the Russians slaughtered Ukrainians through induced famine that time. Stalin, clearly Putin's role model. Saskatchewan was the first jurisdiction, I believe, to recognize the Holodemour as a genocide. We have a large Ukrainian population. I didn't even know what a Ukrainian was till I moved to Saskatchewan. Of course, I was 8, and for a long time I still didn't know what a Ukrainian was. I just knew we had a lot of them. Didn't realize Ukraine was a country, or the Ukraine it was called then, because the Russians made it a province, Soviet Union. Although, the main way I knew Ukrainians was all the Ukrainian jokes that were told. The same jokes you hear like Minnesotans telling on North Dakotans. Well, it's kind of... You think they're funny, and then when you think about them later you realize just how mean-spirited a lot of that is. Especially when it's directed at a nationality and not just the next state over, when it's more of a friendly rivalry kind of thing. I also remember seeing a Ukrainian stand-up comic when I was working at the Weyburn Review. He was quite funny, quite raunchy, I thought, at the time, being younger and more innocent. Well, maybe not more innocent, but more... What's the word? Not prudish, exactly. I just thought that there was a time and place for some things, and that particular venue was not the time and place for that kind of humor. I guess that does make me sound prudish, doesn't it? What was his name? Nestor Pister, I think, was his stage name. That's, of course, this end. Oh, I can almost go by the fountain again. Maybe I should do that. I haven't been able to do it for a while. Just have to get across another patch of ice here. Yeah, I think I can get around it. Of course, the fountain isn't running. It's got an extra ornament there on top. They would be very surprised if the fountain... That might be my thumbnail today. I also noticed my gimbal is getting low, so I hope it doesn't quit on me before I get back. In which case this will suddenly get a lot jerkier. Honk. That's the Trafalgar Fountain. Used to stand at Trafalgar Square. It was brought over here in 1939 when I guess when the royals visited, somewhere along there. And King George and Queen Elizabeth were here just before the war. And I always think about the fact that my grandfather-in-law, in whose house we live and whose first World War memoirs I published, One Lucky Devil, would have seen that fountain in Trafalgar Square when he was in London during the war. And then it ended up following him to Regina, Saskatchewan. I think that's interesting. Another long comment. Same one, I already referred to that one. There's the Legislative Building, East End, facing the sunrise, which we didn't really get much of today. I assume these doors are locked from the outside. I hope so. Never tried them. It doesn't seem like a wise thing to do. I have to go by security to go into the building. Sure, there's a camera there too. Yeah, there is. Oh, this bit of the path is not great. Sometimes I walk right up against the building, but I suspect there's still snow over there. Yeah, there is. So we'll go this way. Through the ornamental gardens, which are not very ornamental at the moment. I might actually cross at the light at the head of the bridge here. Does that save me anything? Probably a little more direct and a little different. So maybe I won't go through the gardens, I'll just walk down to the intersection. Better turn around and look at the ledge though from right in front, although there's a big truck sitting at the moment. There she blows. There's the gardens, some time yet from being very gardeny. And the statue of the Queen, which I was here to watch her commemorate, or unveil, I guess, in the pouring rain, with my daughter standing right over there, and Alice got to give her flowers, so that was cool. I do think my gimbal's getting a little wobbly, and I see that my last light of power is flashing at me, so if it suddenly quits, you'll know what's going on, and I'll have to carry on hand-holding it. Will it last 10 more minutes? I don't know. Faster walk, I think, than last week, because the ice, although it's still there, wasn't as bad, so it didn't slow me down quite as much. Gotta look back at the ledge. You can see by the flags up there that there's a fair bit of wind. See how the lights work out. I can either cross here or down right at the north end of the bridge, south end of the bridge. This one, if it stays red till I get there, it must be about ready to change. If it changes before I get there, then I won't wait for it because it's a long one. They changed their mind about going to the Legislative Building, apparently. That U-turn. this might work out all right if it can just hang on for another minute till I get to the intersection. I'll be able to get across. Looking good. Still green the other way. Can't be long now, so I will cross here and walk down Albert and over the bridge. See how the water's doing running under the bridge. See what a long light this is. I mean, that was red from 2 blocks back, if there were blocks here. I'm actually surprised it's that long, because the ledge does get some traffic in front of it. That'll change in a minute. Alright, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 seconds. And there we go. Hopefully this is not as icy as the last time I came along here, because I think I did this last week and it wasn't much better. Looks better today. And it is about freezing now, so it is melting. It's just leftover ice from overnight. By afternoon it'll be no ice, but I didn't want to wait that long to walk. So I have a lunch meeting and a podcast to be on at 3:30. We'll go all the way up here to get around that patch, though. So far, the gimbal is hanging in there. Must remember to plug it in when I get home. So it's good for whatever I do this weekend. I often take one day off on the weekend. So we'll see. I don't know if I'll walk tomorrow and Sunday or just one of those 2 days. I don't like to walk in the morning on weekends because I like to relax with my coffee and all that kind of stuff. And Saturdays we do all our errand running, so I have to go to the battery depot and get a new battery for our phone backup. Crap, I missed that one. I'll have to wait. If I'd been a little faster, I might have gotten across that while it was still good. I might be able to do it anyway, if nobody's coming. Yes, I can. Now we'll go over the bridge, but over the bridge. I was going to say through the woods, but that's actually over the river. But we are going over the river, so almost works. If only there were woods. There's almost a golf joke there, but I can't quite get to it. Over the river I hit with my woods. My grandmother wasn't there. That really doesn't make any sense at all. Bug ball hit the green, a sight to be seen in the lovely morning air. There you go. I just don't know how grandmother got in there. Guess she's a golfer. Well, we'll stop and take a look at the spillway, which I looked at from the riverbank yesterday. The water, she is a-running. I'm sure my gimbal is wobbly, So it must be on its very last legs. Last ergs. Last volts. One of those electrical terms. And there's your voltage, current in volts, resistance in watts. Ergs is a measure of work, is it not? Maybe watts is too. Oh, how embarrassing that I don't remember. And me, a science fiction writer. And we are back to where we crossed the street when we started this amazing journey around Wascana Lake. Really the same thing. The lake is really just a wide spot in the creek, but I guess all lakes are wide spots in creeks or rivers, no matter how they're formed. Definitely getting wobbly, I think. Hasn't stopped completely. It did on really cold days once or twice. The juice just went, and on the really cold days the battery of the phone didn't even last all the way around the lake on a couple of days. As far as I can tell, the microphone is working consistently now, which again makes me think it must have to do with cold. I've misplaced a cable. I need to start using my wireless mic again because I want to try it again now that it's warmer. I'm going to have to get a new adapter. Thought I knew where it was, but it seems to have vanished. It's possible I donated it to Globe Theatre without meaning to. When I auditioned for Globe and Persephone, I played my background track off my phone in their system, and that would have used the headphone jack adapter. And it's possible when I unplugged, I didn't unplug my adapter, I just left it there. In fact, the more I think about it, the more likely that seems. And thereby deprived myself of a headphone jack for my phone. I don't really listen to music on my phone with my headphones, so I didn't notice until I wanted to try to use the wireless mic. Nope, still ice along here. So I might as well walk on the road as long as nobody's coming. Almost home, where there's coffee awaiting and a whole bunch of editing work. Kickstarter is eased off because it's funded, and I was doing a daily meet the author thing, but I've run through all my authors, so there's less social media going on. I did a big thread yesterday on Twitter highlighting all of the available backers rewards, in the hope my authors would pick up on it since they were all tagged in it. And I don't think anybody did. Maybe one did, which is people could use a little help here. But you can't make them do anything. Actually, one of my most effective things has been sending Facebook messages. The only challenge there is that Facebook won't let you do too many identical messages before it shuts you down for 24 hours from sending messages. They want you to pay for that, getting messages out to people. But if you're patient and you're running a 30-day campaign, you can get most of your friends messaged on Facebook over time, which is what I've been doing. And I certainly picked up a few bucks that way from backers and raised awareness at least. 12,343 when I set out. So we'll see if it's budged while I was walking when I get home. Which I almost am. And again, the Kickstarter is at tinyurl.com/Shapers of Worlds 3, numeral 3. Go check it out and support it if you are so inclined. I've already got stories coming in for it, so I'll be able to, once I have the money, I start issuing contracts to the authors and sending them money, which is, authors like that. I like sending authors money too. I like it when people send me money more than me sending other people money, but I enjoy sending other people money, especially Kickstarter money, because it's not coming out of my bank account. Okay, that's it. The Gimbo held in there. I held in there, made it in one piece. And I'll be back over the weekend, once or twice, I don't know yet. So I'll see you then. Bye for now.